How's it going? For my normal subscribers, this will be a little bit different, but I found it kind of interesting and helpful. So if you're just coming across this video, my name's Jared, and nice to meet you. I've been heating with firewood for coming up on 20 years and dropped lots of trees, split lots of cords of lumber, but I came across a sawmill where I'm able to get these cut off end pieces, and it's all hardwood, it's all kiln dried, so it burns hot. It burns kind of quick, but I've got a well insulated area that holds it pretty good. So I was getting these big bundles, and I got a backhoe with forks, and I was raising it up and just ripping them down, which being, they're all different lengths on the end. Everything was kind of nice, but everything on the ends, you had a lot of little goofy end pieces that were hard to stack or anything. And I had a bundle break and drop, which was pretty scary. So I ended up making this jig here out of some old barn wood. It's my good old chicken red. What I did is I just made a couple runners here on the bottom. That way I could easily pick it up and move it to wherever I wanted it to go. I put some pieces going horizontal there, slapped these uprights in, and I put boxed in this side so it's like a hard stop. So you load them all in till it hits this hard stop at the end. And I measured I was shooting for 17 inches. So I measured from there, and every one of these uprights will be 17 inches as long as I cut right there. And if I cut on this side, it'd be about 22 inches. I spray painted it red just so I'm not ripping them down and actually accidentally cut one where I don't necessarily want it. But then I've just left a gap in between here. Shot a nail in. It's where I hook my bungee cord to, and that way they don't jump around or anything when you're cutting. I took a big blowtorch to all the wood here, where I saw somewhere that it helps the wood from rotting. It does something to the chemistry of the wood or something, where it takes away something that the bugs like to eat, I believe. But I just got a 20-inch bar on my saw here, and I just set it up so I could cut perfect and not have to jump from one side to the other, rip them down. Everything's already in a neat, nice stack. I can pick up, a handful. It does, one downside is it does have a lot of sawdust in here. But I found, it's hard to do this with one hand, but I'll grab a handful, kind of smack it on here, get all the sawdust off, and go over here and put it in my stack. And it makes for real nice firewood that's cut and stacked, easy to move, all the same size. And I'd also thought if I made multiple of these jigs, it'd be sweet to just cut it and then not have to restack it. Cut it and just move this whole jig to outside the house, front porch or wherever, and then I could just cycle these without having to handle the wood so many times in between. But I just wanted to make a quick video of this. I thought it's been working real good. These old beams, I had a composite board deck built, so I put a piece of composite board on the very bottom, since these aren't pressure treated or anything, just so it's not on direct ground contact. And being oak, this stuff was super hard, so I used a air nailer for the nails, and for the structural stuff I had to drill pilot holes and ran lag bolts in it. But I mean, pine or whatever would work good too. Where I put these boards down for the stacks to sit, I have a gap right, or let's look at this one. I have a gap right here, so when I'm running the saw through, and I can feel right here, and then I feel it drop. So then that way I know I'm all the way through. Maybe a little thicker boards down here. That way you feel more of a drop and know you're through. But I don't think it's any big deal that I'm gonna come down and hit the tops of these every once in a while if I was to do it again. But I'm pretty happy with it. I thought just show you guys and maybe help somebody else. But yeah, just some bungee cords. I saw where people had rope and a block of wood and throw it over. That would work too, but this has been pretty nice. And then once I get done, I just hang the bungee cords over here on this end. So there you go. I hope that helps somebody, and thanks for watching.